and keep an open mind. I rational, and that your journey here has been fraught. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
I could kill you. Right here. Right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
God. All we're missing are the teacups and the white rabbit.
Ah, levity. Excellent. A sure sign that you adapt quickly to stressful environments. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. I am your son.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the Vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant.
Sure.
Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. It wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection. So they followed the best example thus far.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you. I hope you're not too overwhelmed. Are you following? This really is a matter of importance.
I don't believe you. There's no way any of this...
I wish there was something to...
You're my son? Then prove it. Now.
I've already told you how I came to be here. I've shown you my trust. Your weapons haven't been confiscated, and I stand unarmed before you. Please.
We have nothing to talk about.
I had certainly hoped we could work to... Understand, though, that You may have safe passage back to the... I'm sorry. The elevator will reach...
Sean, can we talk about this?
Have you reconsidered your decision?
I've changed...
Well, that's good.
Right.
You want to introduce... And fine.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary
there.
drive breakdown this month.
Doctor?
They weren't
I don't
kidding.
know.
You really are
Most
here.
of them have lasted long
Well,
past
all
their
right.
projected lifespans.
I'm Allie.
That's
And Father
me.
told us if you...
I just wanted to find my son. And keep it...
Now that you've found him, now, as you might guess, we maintain it. There's a lot of machine. The work we do might. So,
Right? I'm not on board with anything.
no? If you're not planning on staying, and consider having... If there's anything...
It must be a challenge.
Over the years, we've learned,
Sure.
when necessary, fortunately, advanced...
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies.
It's an honor to have you here now.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
No, I can't talk about that.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to...
Hey, Doc.
I'll pass along your message,
Welcome.
Doctor.
It is so good to meet you.
It'll take some time.
I see that you do.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so.
Excuse me,
the last thing
Doctor.
we need is more synths bumping into walls. It's a real... You know, I love my work.
Remember to practice
but I
good
love
sanitation
being
habits
followed.
at all times. If you clean a healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
Reporting status. All functions normal.